Sorry about that, guys. Camera, restart. So whatever you've got going on and whatever you are thinking about, I know my cards get really, really jacked up when I'm reading, but I have to move them around and stuff. I'm sorry. It's and this doesn't matter if you're male or female Taurus. It's the energy that comes out. You've got everything you need. You're more than capable or equipped to deal with this, or you've dealt with this the right way. This heavy burden, holding back. This is the same card, and this is the burden card. But then you know the difference with this card and this Ten of Wands than in the Rider-Waite deck is that I feel like this person, like in the Rider-Waite deck, I always feel like it's actually like hurting him, like it's pressing down on him, like the weight of it. But in this one, I feel like the person is picking them up and see, because here they're holding something, but then here it's like they're picking them up and getting ready to like take them somewhere and get rid of them. You've dealt with it, or you're in the process of really starting to heal from something or deal with something or come to terms with something that you didn't want to feel. And maybe that water and you not getting out of that water was like, I'm getting it is three things. One, that you were numbing out your emotions or not being real about how you were feeling. It's obvious. Or you needed more water. You weren't getting enough emotion from some other part. Well, the overflow, that could have been another thing. The overflow, like you're overcome with emotions, but you're paralyzed with fear. Paralyzed by fear. Yes, that's it. That's one thing. But if any of you guys are familiar with Poe, Edgar Allan Poe, he wrote a short story called The Mask of the Red Death. And it was, I don't know, it's been interpreted differently, but it was, well, a lot of people thought it was about the Black Plague, and this guy comes in and he's got a mask on and stuff, and they don't know who he is, and they find this dead guy that had like necrotizing fasciitis all over him or something, and then they think that this masked person who wouldn't identify himself was the one who killed this person. So I think it's Prince Prospero, like he follows him through this house that have all different colored walls in them, like each room is a color. And the blue room signified birth. It's like birth. The green room signified youth, and of course, like the black room with like the scarlet light in it, I think signified blood, obviously. And that was the room where they actually finally pulled the hood. Like they were all hiding in this house to try to like escape the plague, I think. So they pulled the hoodie or the mask off this guy, or the shroud. He was like, I guess, dressed like death, and there was nobody in there. Like it was nothing. Then they all ended up dying anyway from this disease. So there's nothing to really be afraid of. Oh, sorry. I always put my phone on Do Not Disturb. So if there's nothing to really be afraid of, can you manifest fear? Or is it there's nothing to fear but fear itself? Something like that, maybe? Okay. We've got the Emperor, the Empress, Emperor, the Empress. I saw something else here too. The Queen of Wands. It's Aries. King of Earth. It's you. Or it could be Capricorn. Virgo. I know I had a Queen of Swords here. Oh, she's in my hand, yeah. And the King of Swords. This has to do with family. This has to do with a couple. Unfortunately, sometimes I don't know what it is about this card. It's funny, I was just talking about that necrotizing fasciitis, like that's, which is like a skin-eating disease, because sometimes when I look at this card, I know it's creepy because the Empress is not supposed to mean that, but like, I guess she kind of represents grain and renewal and earth, but I kind of feel like, and I don't know if the artist meant for this to happen, but like I get this like sort of like decay, like the murkiness of the color kind of reminds me of like the bathroom in that dream. I don't know why, it's so weird, but I mean it's not really what it is, but it could have been. It's horrible. And this seahorse looks like he was crying. He's in the water. Or maybe he's not. Maybe he's just chilling, swimming. That's what I like to think, that he's just swimming along. But then we have this, you know, person on a giraffe. It looks like a child. It looks small or young. Thinking. But the Two of Fire is, I mean, it's essentially the Two of Wands or the same card. Thinking. You're just thinking about something. A giraffe can also signify being different, making a decision. Remember I said that Uranus is the planet for changes and unexpected events. It calls uproar, riot, you know, something that people wouldn't expect you to do. But, you know, so a giraffe is different. It's unique. It's out of, you know, but it's proud. It's, you know, it won't, it's not going to hide. It's proud of its spots. Okay, we need... I went another round with Aries. I know you guys are going to have a super long video. I don't feel like I have my answer yet. Like, I want this to tie together somehow. Or I want to tell you an outcome of what's going to happen. And I don't know if this is just a rundown of some energy, or if some of you guys can make sense of what that dream meant. And I can only read what I see and what I'm picking up. There's too much energy here of thinking, a lot of thinking, and holding you back, and family, and children. There's definitely has something to do with children, maybe young children. I need to figure out that dream. I still feel like, what about this telephone on the wall, right? Did that have something to do with needing to call somebody? And like I said, the dream didn't really disturb me. It wasn't that bad of a dream. But it was the fact that it was so vivid and there were so many details, and I just remembered everything. And I sat right here, and usually when that happens, it was meant to happen for a reason. Instead of, I would have flipped these two, but I would have shuffled the middle card. But look, you have the Ace of Swords, you have the Queen of Pentacles. So now we have the King and Queen of Pentacles. This is definitely, you want to say soulmate, twin flame, whatever. I don't think I've ever had that happen before. I'm glad I did. Something was telling me I needed to do that third round. And look, the epitome of communication, the epitome of thinking. This is profound. This is really beautiful. And I'm kind of like seeing now, like this couple that's been married, like growing old together, and you know, all these, I'm like setting these up, and you can't see them, but like all of these different facets of their personalities, like coming together through the years, and then like raising their children or something. I'm sort of getting like perhaps that was the phases, you know, the phases of your lives together that you were going through, that you went through together. Because look, even here we have a man and the woman on the holding back. But maybe it's not that. Maybe it's holding on to one another. Like, oh my goodness, what if it's like in Titanic, when like one of them was drowning and she's like, don't let go. Don't let go, Jack. Maybe that was what the water was. Don't let go. I could like think about that all day and find some kind of metaphorical meaning. But he let go. And he died. This could be a message for somebody out there. If you're thinking about leaving your wife or your husband or something, and you're a Taurus, don't do it. Because you can get through whatever it is. Don't do it. This is to, you're good people. Or if you're about to get married, or if you're in a relationship, it's good. You and Aries, you guys have this like great readings. Of course, Aries need a little schooling on how to be on their own and not feel bad. I don't know why I'm sitting here touching these cards. I feel like I'm still trying to like pull out information, because I just keep seeing stuff. Okay, so we need to go to, let me go here. Okay, so now all we need is the Queen of Cups. And because now we have all three kings. We three kings. Plus you had all the other kings. Whew. Girl, if this is your man, I thought Aries had the good man. Aries has the hot man coming or whatever, but this guy is, he runs your bath. And we three kings, like, they bring gifts, right? So this is like the kind of guy who, he'll just bring you home like something that he knows that you like. Here's the marriage card. You know, just on his way home from work, and it could be just something random, like nothing like real expensive, but just something like you like. So he just like grabs you some wildflowers off the side of the road, or you know, buys you your favorite, I don't know, candy or something. But okay, here's you again. Balance. But it fell out with this. And the Three of Pentacles is working together. So there's a really nice, you know, working together through emotional stuff. Maybe you guys have been through like a really, really rough time, you know. And of course, here we have another page. Maybe you guys were together when you were, you know, been together since you were young. Or this is, you know, your child. Maybe, I mean, there's a lot of like playful energy here in water. I mean, look how much water is in this reading. Just more cups. There's water in this one. Water here. But I mean all the cup signs with the emotions. I can only piece that dream together so much. I hope somebody out there has something that they can relate it to or knows what it means. I'm basing it off of what I know. Those fall out. Oh, I needed, oh no, I had 3 come out for that. Okay, so we just need one more round from the Rider-Waite deck. Let's see. More thinking. This is the meditation resting card. More thinking. This can also represent the death of someone, which I think I mentioned that before. But it's supposed to be the meditation card. Well, not supposed to be. It's rest and meditation. The way that I get it is, I'll just tell you what I'm picking up off of it. I still think that there's something here that someone is trying, that's heavy in thought. Heavy in thought. and heavy in emotion. You're overthinking something. Maybe this. Remember I got the fronting with this front door, and that was like in the first cycle. And I thought, well, maybe something happened, or maybe you're in a place where you're fronting. You're acting like everything is okay, but really, like when you get into your, get alone or get into a safe place, it's really like you're dying inside, right? Because you're thinking about, like, there's just so much stuff that you're thinking about, and it's overwhelming you, but you're fearful for no reason. Like, you don't have anything. The only thing that you could be afraid of is what other people thought. That's why you're trying to, how it like came out at first, like trying to act like you were stronger than you are. Or maybe this giraffe came out to say, you be proud of your spots, be proud of your wounds, or be proud of who you are. Do what you want to do. In this deck, the Hermit card has a lantern, because like he's looking for clarity, like he's looking for the answer, and you have the answer. You just have to stop overthinking and be proud of your spots, or do what you want to do. At the end of your life, I don't know what you believe in as far as religion, but you're not going to be answering to those people. They're not going to be the ones you have to answer to, if, on Judgment Day. Not them. If you get out of this you kind of feel tied and bound to something. If you get over this fear of whatever it is that you're doing, a whole new world will open up for you. This person is like, sometimes I get like the bliss card. This person just looks like so happy and free, like they've uncloaked themselves. You have this is like, there's like your whole world here, and you're hiding from something, or you won't come out and say something. I've mentioned this before in one of my videos. I don't know which one, I can't remember, that, why would I not be worried about what people think? Especially from around, like, my family and stuff. I read tarot cards. Like, my mom won't even look at them. She won't even like my business page for my tarot readings. She thinks I'm in my room here at her house, like playing with Ouija boards and like bleeding baby goats and stuff like that. Like, she has no idea what I'm doing, and a lot of people don't. But like in my Aries video, it's like something that I really love doing, and I'm not gonna live my life like not doing what I love, or neglecting doing things for myself that I love. And people don't understand it. They don't understand that I like to go meditate off by myself for 2 hours. Oh, that's weird. It's the freest you can be, and my spirituality, or the way it makes me happy, and I do what I want to do because I don't care what other people think. If somebody truly loves you, they're gonna love you no matter what. So jump out of your tub, because you're gonna die one day, and this whole world that you could have had, there is something that you need to break out of, or admit to somebody and say, look, this is this is how it's gonna be. This is what makes me happy. This is what I want. Or this is how I feel. I'm sad. This is killing me. You know, there's that. There's something that's making you sad, but something that you need. Maybe you don't want to admit that you need, or you don't want to tell people that you need. Or even if you have to... God, why is it so hard for people to admit weakness? Maybe all of this overflow of this emperor energy is more of a front. Maybe that's why it had to come through so big, like this royalty, you know, conjunction of power here. It's an overkill of how good everything is when you really need. I mean, admitting weakness or admitting that you need help, it's hard. But it's freeing. It's so freeing, because you'd be surprised how many people come to help you. People like to help people. Some people like to help people because, you know, they like to help people. A lot of people like to help people because it makes them feel good. But either way, somebody's going to help you. It doesn't matter why. Who cares, right? As long as you're getting help. But yeah, if any of you guys can think about what's up with that dream, message me or put a comment down there. Scorpio, baby. That's right there at the end. We were talking about death. Scorpio's the death card. Oh, now everything is a mess. And now they're all messed up again. I hate it when that happens. I can't go into, like, OCD about my cards being straight. I have to know that, you know. So, yeah. Death. Okay, well, there's the twin flame energy. So yeah, this is definitely a love reading for some of you. I think it could go either way. I think, you know, take what resonates with you. For some of you, this is a twin flame love relationship thingy. It could have to do with communication and emotions. Some of you, it's, you know, relationships, and then for some of you, it's coming out and admitting something that you need help about. Yeah. I'm trying to see, I guess, what that sunrise is about, but maybe like a brand new day is just relative, like, to a new world, you know what I mean? Each day is something new, maybe, but there's fire energy here, so it's like rising from ashes, and this is like the sun. Find your flame, maybe? I don't know. Well, they said that Uranus could be uprising. See, holding on, that's holding on. But this is the one that always reminds me of the World card. Zebra, stripes, giraffe. You wouldn't have gotten this card and the Hermit card, like this intuition and this thinking, if you weren't intelligent. So however this video is for, you're smart. So, of course, right there at the end of your video, everything shut off. Right at the end. Mercury retrograde. I cannot wait for you to be over. Can't wait. Can't wait. It's the same for me. It's like the same thing plagues me every single time. It's always technical equipment. It's so funny when I first started doing tarot, when I first decided to like really put up my YouTube channel, it was during Mercury retrograde because it was like Halloween. What was I thinking? I need one more card of this. Well, there you go. This is the Taurus card himself. This is you, the bright mother, the fawn. It's like a rebirth. 1-7 would be the planet across from you, would be your 1-7, and also it's also your other half, your twin flame. We're in Gemini, so yeah, so mother, children, you, fawn. I don't know. I think I've extracted as much as I can out of here, and I'm sure that the people that watch this stuff, you guys watch tarot anyway. You know about this stuff, so I'm sure you're seeing what you need to see. The only thing that I am noticed, I like to find similarities in these cards, specific, like these aren't the same deck, but if you can see the same kind of like discoloration on their skin, but it's like he's lighting back up again, right? Like something in him is being relit. You've seen the light. I don't know. But you need to see something, do something. Open your eyes, Taurus. You're missing something. I don't know. I've kept this video going way too long. So I actually have to go do my actual job. Yeah, so if you like this reading, like, share, subscribe. And I would really appreciate it if you would do that. And yeah, check out the other videos for your signs. They will resonate, I'm sure. It seems to me like some reason through Mercury retrograde, it just kind of affects everybody the same way. It's deep emotional stuff because, Mercury is the action planet and everything's going backwards, and what you're supposed to be doing to move forward is going backwards, and things are getting better. And I'm just, like I said, that song that was playing in my head, I'm just gonna put that up as your song, because the beat of it wouldn't get out of my head. So maybe it will mean something to you. Like I said, I hadn't heard it, I hadn't listened to it. So, I'll try to find a video with the lyrics so that way you can see, because it's usually, that's what has something to do with it. It's usually lyrics. Alright, I will see you guys next month. I was going to start these for the Zodiac New Year, which is March 23rd, and I'm actually early for something, first time in my life ever, probably. Alright, bye.